Hi all, welcome to the Marquee Matchups predictions for the 1st of October. This is the Champions League ones. I'll get the main predictions up tomorrow. I've just been kind of falling behind a little bit with editing and recording, so try to keep everything in check. But welcome to Smash Likes as always, folks. Sub to the channel if you're new. Follow me on Twitter at GZLegend. All links are down below as usual for social media and playlists. So just to say, with this video, there's two teams we'd expect to feature, like what they do in usual UCL Marquee Matchups. In the background is basically a squad of the games that I kind of fancy. What I've not decided to do individual squads because the requirements would most likely be, say, anywhere from 78 to 81 rated, and then you'd probably likely need a couple of players from each team, and then at least a handful of rares, and then probably at least nations, and probably not say like it'll be like max from 4, like max from same league 4 and all this type of stuff. You probably need like exactly gold, but you'll get like say two 25k packs or something, or 25 and 30k packs. They'll make it worthwhile, and then depends what the group reward is. But Wednesday night games to start off with that I'm featuring in this is Barcelona. Barcelona and Inter I did kind of ponder featuring, but that is an outside shout. Because I was at like 11, I thought I'd just show Lille and Chelsea. Liverpool, Salzburg, Leipzig, Lyon are the kind of 4 main games I would say from Wednesday night. Valencia, Ajax is probably the other one that I quite fancy. So I would say personally you want to cover from a Barcelona view, like Elena, Firpo from a Barca view, Inter's like Sensei, Gagliardini, D'Ambrosio, those type of players. In like Lille, Chelsea view, you've got like Magnan, Fonte, Louis Arujo, Chelsea, Loftus-Cheek, Emerson, Caballero, anyone that's like a low rated gold that can work, even Barkley for that matter. Salzburg, Ramallo and Junucevic, and I'm sure Minamino's a gold as well. Like Liverpool, you'd obviously go like Oxlade-Chamberlain, Origi, those type of options. Adrian, then like Valencia, like Lyon and Leipzig, you'd look at like Nkunku, Cornet, Dema, Tete, those type of players. But I would say those are your main ones to focus on for like Wednesday night. In terms of Tuesday, you've got Atalanta, Shakhtar, Real Madrid, Club Brugge. The only game you cannot get is Red Star Belgrade and Olympiacos, so be wary of that. Galatasaray, PSG, Juventus, Bayern, Leverkusen, Lokomotiv Moscow, Atletico Madrid, Manchester City, Dinamo Zagreb, and Tottenham Bayern Munich. Tottenham Bayern Munich is and Juventus, Bayern, Leverkusen are the 2 main ones I fancy from Tuesday night. So I would be prepared from that. From a Juventus view, you can look at like Rugani, you can look at Emre Can, De Siglio, Danilo, depending on who else you want to kind of focus your efforts on. By Leverkusen, like Bender brothers is probably the most common one that you'll see a lot of people go for. Ozcan, then like Tottenham Bayern Munich, I would say from a Tottenham view, Dyer and Wanyama will be the most common. Bayern Munich is Pavard and Ulrich because they're the most common goals that you would commonly see. But I would say personally, if you're going to do this marquee matchups, what you want to be prepared for from like Lille Chelsea view, for example, I would be saying get Zuma, get Magnan, Loftus-Cheek, and then say like Louis Arujo. Try and build like a two or three league squad, but as long as you're covering like 4 or 5 nations, but make sure it's like anywhere from 80 to 95 chem. Try and build it around that kind of element. So, and you'll find then, as long as it's like 79, 80 rated, you will be sorted. But as I said, in terms of the teams that I fancy from the Tuesday night games, it'll be, I think, Juventus, Bayern Leverkusen, Tottenham Bayern Munich kind of seem to be the 2 standouts. If I was to say another Tuesday night game that I think they may go for, could actually be Manchester City, Dinamo Zagreb. In Dinamo Zagreb case, Dani Olmo is going to be a very popular card, so be wary with that. And then, as I said, from the Wednesday night games, Barcelona, Inter and Valencia, Ajax are probably my 2 outside shouts. But Lille, Chelsea, Liverpool, Salzburg, Leipzig, Lyon are probably the 3 that I would go for. So I've kind of said I've mentioned all the games, Oh, and Zenit Benfica you cannot get as well. I've just remembered that. So there's 2 out of the 14 that you cannot get. So that helps narrow it a little bit. But obviously at the same time, it comes down to how do you what do you want? Like what games do you personally fancy and prefer? Because everyone that maybe does predictions will obviously suggest different options, but hopefully you still find this useful regardless, folks. Let me know in the comments down below what games that you fancy to happen in the UCL Marquee Matchups. This will drop as said on Tuesday for 2 days. Take it easy all, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all later.